teachers are in every classroom across Ontario.
We understand each other now? Okay.
The career, which lasts 26 years on average according to the Financial Post, is often seen as a stable one. However, a long career for some means fewer job openings for those starting out. Samantha Timmins is a recent graduate of the University of Ottawa's Teachers College. For her, the waiting game is far too familiar.
I applied for a job in July, that would be for the upcoming September, for a full-time one-year LTO. Again, another teacher gone on a leave of absence. I applied, I interviewed, and I was offered that job in July. And then 2 weeks after I was offered that job, it once again was revoked because the teacher had notified the board that he would be returning.
For now, that means working at an office job she's had since she was 16.
I would not say I'm working here permanently. I was pretty straightforward with my employer about me coming back to work here. I love it here, I love the people here, but it's not my passion. This is, at the end of the day, it is a job for me. It's not a career.
Despite her lack of success, Samantha remains faithful to her ultimate goal of becoming a teacher.
I have always wanted to teach. From a young age, it's always just been something that I have been passionate about.
As she continues her wait for a call, Samantha gets her teaching fill at a music school in the West End of Ottawa.
I have many passions in my life. I'm involved in music, I'm involved in sports. So I knew that there were other avenues or other things I could do in the meantime while looking for a job.
Not all graduates will wait it out though. Some will go to great lengths for their dream job. Heather Boyd graduated from Teachers College at Queen's University in April 2010 and has spent the past 2 years teaching in the United Kingdom. She spoke of her experiences via Skype.
I knew what the job market was like just from friends who had graduated the year before, and I actually had a friend already living over here. So when the opportunity came up and I knew that I'd be able to have my own classroom right away, because I love what I do, I decided it was the best opportunity to take. Because I do love teaching so much, I mean, it's my passion and it's what I want to do with my life. That's the best the best kind of option was to come over here where I could do it full time right off the bat, as opposed to waiting a few years to get on the supply list and then maybe not having my own class until 5 years down the line.
She knew her love of teaching trumps a life of luxury and went as far as eating canned beans for a month.
The tricky part is living overseas. You have to be able to go home every so often. So that happened when I had to pay for my plane ticket home. Got rent to pay and student loans and everything. So that did make for a tricky July, or June rather. What I make here is comparable to what I would make home. It's just that living expenses in England are slightly more than they are in Canada.
Jessie Watson has been a teacher for 7 years and has seen many young teachers struggle to find jobs.
It's unrealistic of teachers' colleges in general to believe that every single one of their graduates who walks out of their doors will be automatically employed. If there's going to be a necessary reform to the Bachelor of Education program, I think creating realistic expectations for graduates about what to expect and giving them realistic tools to go about making their application process to the profession much more successful. Simply giving them the basic tools of this is how you create a portfolio is not going to give graduates a realistic idea about what to expect when they first arrive in the profession or when they first arrive to even apply for the profession, rather than simply giving graduates the impression, which I certainly had when I was going through the program, that there would be a big string of permanent jobs waiting for us once we got out.
According to the Ontario College of Teachers report on early career teachers in Ontario schools released February 2012, there exists far too great a discrepancy between teachers entering and exiting the workforce. Jobs in teaching become available as teachers retire, but between 2005 and 2009, just over 4,500 teachers retired each year. Contrast that to the more than 12,000 Teachers College graduates annually in that same period. Compare those figures also to those of 1998 to 2002. That was when the demand for teachers was greater. So why, in today's employment climate, do teachers' colleges continue pumping out 8,000 more new teachers than do retire each year?
I think that people need to think about having a Bachelor of Education degree as providing them with some skills and a skill set that's valued in other places other than just your classic classroom. So many of our teachers, our student teachers, though, do get jobs in classrooms.
As teachers' colleges continue churning out graduates, those who are able to get jobs are those most willing to drastically alter their living conditions, including going overseas.
At this time, with things the way that they are, you know that you're not going to waltz out the door and find a job. I mean, everybody knows that, and that's why a lot of us do leave. There's a lot of us in England, there's a lot of us in Australia. You go elsewhere because you know that that's where the opportunities are.
But is all that trouble really worth it?
When it comes to it being worth it or being not, I think you have to ask yourself exactly what do you want out of the profession. If you are looking for a job that has 11 weeks vacation a year and is going to pay you a nice pension, you are probably getting into it for the wrong reasons.
I think that when we think about who wants to go into teaching, I was surprised. I was at the Ontario University Fair a couple of weekends ago, and it was very surprising. I didn't expect anybody to come to talk to find out how to get into teacher education because most of the people at the fair were in grade 11 and 12. But it was very surprising to see the numbers who came in very excited to become a teacher and wanted to know what they had to do in their undergraduate degree to be a teacher. And I think it's really neat to see that passion and enthusiasm. And so that's, I think, what carries a lot of people through and carries a lot of people to actually getting a job.
Leanne Timmons is Samantha's sister. She's also pursuing the path of becoming a teacher.
The fact that you get to see somebody get something, like that light bulb turns on. And there's no other job or experience that I've ever had that, you know, you have that gratification, that instant gratification.
She experienced secondhand Samantha's experiences.
It became somewhat of a humorous thing after a while because it was so job given, job taken away, but being part of volunteering for so long, I knew that's how the system worked, and I have a very good understanding of the inside.
For her, passion is far more important than a pension.
Obviously, contemplated the fact that there is no jobs, but in the end, I see it being worth waiting longer for an opportunity to come up than working a job that, you know, I might not be happy or might not bring the feeling of success that teaching does to me.
I would say to any new graduate who's coming out of the program who feels frustrated and who feels discouraged by the current situation, that if this is a passion of yours and that if this is something that that you have done for, you know, if you've worked with young people for the last many years of your life and it's something that you want to pursue it in the right ways and stay committed, and it will reward you.
It might take a while, and I'm not really sure where I'll end up teaching or under what parameters I'll end up teaching, but I would say that I'm confident that is where I'll end up.
Don't stop believing.
For the 25th hour, I'm Wilson Lowe.